Big changes could be coming to California's standardized testing. On Tuesday, state legislature approved a state bill that would eliminate traditional multiple choice testing for California grade school students. Instead, Common Core testing would be implemented. Common Core is a computerized form of testing currently used in 45 states. Now, federal lawmakers are threatening to withhold federal education funding if test scores are not reported for the year. The bill is headed to the state assembly for a final vote. As thousands of San Diegans join the rest of the country on observing the 12th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, Briley Oaks sat down with the one man who witnessed the tragic day unfold from the crash site of United Flight 93.
As the tragic events of September 11, 2001 began to unfold, millions of Americans turned to the news for answers. Our country was under attack.
There was a lot of talk there in New York of another explosion.
Passengers on board United Flight 93 realized their plane had been hijacked and decided to fight back. At 10:03 a.m., the plane crashed into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
I get my first glimpse of something that's gone wrong is it's all green trees, but right in the middle, it's a swath of black trees.
Joe Little was one of the first reporters to arrive on scene. This tragic event was something bigger than he ever imagined.
I realized this was part of 9/11. This was United Flight 93.
With a giant crater and burning pile of ash left in the field, Joe and the other reporters were left in the dark to try to piece together what had happened.
Unless someone told me that it was a plane crash, I would not have known what happened there.
I wanted to know what it was like to be able to report on something so monumental.
It's a badge of honor to be able to say that not only did I cover 9/11, I was a part of 9/11. I was there on the front line, one of the first reporters on the scene of United Flight 93's crash.
But Joe also told me covering Flight 93 was different for him.
There was no wreckage or destruction. There were no buildings falling down. There were no people jumping out of the World Trade Center.
Although the damage may not be visible, the 33 passengers and 7 crew members on board United Flight 93 will be remembered as heroes.
Flight 93 was our only victory that day. It was the only thing that we beat them on, because we had a bunch of Americans say, screw this, we're going to storm the cockpit, and this plane is not reaching D.C.
Wednesday marked the memorial of what America lost during the tragedy of 9/11. Thank you, Briley Oaks, for giving us that glimpse of the past.
With the deadline for major nominations just a week away, the list of candidates has doubled in the last week. The field is up to 33 candidates, including Nathan Fletcher, David Alvarez, Mike Aguirre, and Kevin Faulconer. Former Assembly member Lori Saldana has also announced she will be joining the race. This group is quite large, but is expected to trim down as next Friday's deadline gets closer. Even with the loss of some contenders, it keeps looking like San Diego have a big loss. Excuse me for that. It looks like San Diego will have a big field of candidates because the largest one was in 1983 with 20 candidates. But now let's go and check what's going on with sports. Briley Oaks is here. Briley?
Astrid, Josh. So we've been seeing a lot of different sports throughout the past week. First, I want to start off with the Padres. The Padres opened a 3-game series today in Atlanta, but last night in Philadelphia, they were delayed about an hour due to the rain. But when the weather cleared up, Will Venable led off the game with his 22nd home run of the year. This gave the Padres a 1-0 lead, but Tyson Ross couldn't get out of that first inning. He gave off 6 runs on 5 hits in 2/3 of the inning as the Phillies went on to defeat the Padres by a score of 10-5. Now we fast kick our way to the soccer field where Mexico is taking on the United States. In the beginning of the second half, U.S. came in with the corner kick. Eddie Johnson headbutts it into the goal. He's all fired up with the uppercut, giving the Americans a 1-goal lead. Later in the second half, Descarad's approaching the net with the sweet pass to none other than Landon Donovan with the goal, and wait for it, he slides. The Americans win the 2-0 and advance to the 2014 World Cup, leaving Mexico in the danger zone. And in tennis, Rafael Nadal defeated Novak Djokovic in 4 sets for his 2nd U.S. Open title and 13th career Grand Slam title. This was their 37th match against each other between the 2 men in the Open. It was also their 3rd head-to-head U.S. Open final in the last 4 years. Nadal beat Djokovic for the 2010 title, and Djokovic won their rematch in 2011. Nadal is 22-0 on hard courts this year. Now, we have a contender for what some are calling the dumbest play of the 2013 football season. During Sunday afternoon season opener, the Jets trailed Tampa Bay 17-15. With less than 20 seconds left on the clock, the Buccaneers linebacker David Levante shoved Jets rookie quarterback Geno Smith after he was already out of bounds near midfield. This drew a 15-yard personal foul penalty that moved the Jets into position for a game-winning field goal. And let's take it over to San Diego with the Chargers. While the Chargers lost the first home opener Monday against the Texans, there is still talk about building a new stadium in the East Village. But just how much would that enclosed multi-use football stadium cost? Newly released numbers estimate it would cost roughly $1 billion. That's according to the Chargers' point man of stadium issues, Mark Fabiani. But Fabiani says the city would save money if it combined that same project with the convention center expansion. Previous cost estimates came in around $800 million. Now, Norv Turner may not be the head coach for the Chargers anymore, but the ghost of his losses still haunts Qualcomm Stadium, as new coach Mike McCoy learned in his Monday night debut. Our very own East Lake Little Leagues watched from the field as the first play got underway. Jarrett Johnson tips Cam Thomas with the interception. Rivers to Ryan Matthews, and let's see it right there. He's gonna make the touchdown. At the half, Antonio Gates with the one-handed catch. That set up Rivers to Vincent Brown 21-7. Texans rally from 28-7 down after forcing a field goal attempt. Cam Thomas called for a critical penalty on a new rule hitting the center of the kick. Very questionable for the Texans. On the next play, Matt Schwab finds Owen Daniels. The Texans came all the way back to tie. And on the final play of the game, Randy Bullock hit a 41-yard field goal to hand the Chargers a stunning 31-28 loss. Okay, guys, so it was hard to watch.
It was.
It was hard to watch. I am rooting for the Chargers. I am a San Diego native, and I am hoping they're coming back this Sunday for a win.
I feel confident Mike McCoy will have them ready to play this Sunday.
Okay.
So let's go Chargers.
Coming up, you guys, a unique food fest is in full swing downtown. See what tasty dishes and spirits you'll find after this.